so yeah, this is kind of a custom version of the game right now, or I'm working on, but I've organized a bunch of the puzzles, and we're gonna kind of go through them and talk about um, some like learning how I go through the puzzles, and yeah, kind of just learn things. Okay, so yeah, they're organized into difficulties here. Still kind of figuring out the difficulties. So if anyone has any input on which ones should be where, let me know. But yeah, we'll just start going through them. So starting with combos, these are kind of to teach the basic game. So obviously, these ones are kind of just set up. Um, when you're looking for your basic combos, you're always looking for a horizontal or vertical set. Um, when you're setting up these two color ones, you want to make sure you don't, you know, mess up the clear as you're going through. So like if I was trying to set these up, I don't want to clear those before the other one. Then you kind of just get an intuitive feel for that over time. So like here, I could tell, oh, these aren't going to chain because these are opposite. So I know I can go immediately start setting it up. Same thing here. All these are pre-set up, so they shouldn't be too hard. Okay. Okay, so chains. Here's your basic chains. You have your horizontal. And then here's converting a horizontal or vertical into horizontal. Oh, I rushed that one. If you don't make the full chain before it finishes, then you lose the puzzle. So you can kind of set them up early, or you can, try to do it as an active chain. Okay, so that's the beginner. Still fleshing that out a little bit, but um, it's pretty much just like kind of learning how to play basics. Okay, now we're going to talk about a little bit harder combos. Here's another case where we're set up. We're fine. We can just immediately make a +8. Again, there's no worries about clearing early there. Here's your 6 in a T shape. I didn't notice this till recently. Sometimes you get in this kind of shape where you don't have a 6 yet, but you have the space to drop it down. So that's super nice. By the way, let me know if the volume level is hard to hear or anything like that. Here's your L shape. That can happen in all the different configurations. And then 6s, make sure to look for 2 colors a lot of the time because, yeah. So like here is the first case where you could accidentally do that. So make sure to not do that. Kind of plan ahead which one. That's a little bit more work for that combo. Okay. So now we're doing chains that are a little bit more tricky. So that one I kind of set up actively. Take it slow, and then as you're getting better, you can obviously do those more quickly. I think, see, there's a couple of people watching. That's awesome. Let me know in chat how you're doing and if you have any questions. All right, this one, we can see this is going to be horizontal, and then everything else is going to fall from there. That one kind of forces you to active chain. Okay, so that's the chains there. Now we're going to start getting into a little bit more interesting. Here, these are converting to horizontal chains. So you can see here, it feels like the diamonds should be a vertical chain, but in reality, they need to switch to a horizontal chain. So once this falls down, then we're able to pull that to the side and make it a horizontal instead of vertical. And this can be really useful once you start realizing that you were trying to force things to be vertical, but they can be horizontal instead. Here we can move it into place while it's matching. But in this case, we need to put this one down before we put the other one over. All right, so that's how you convert to horizontal. All right, next up is called earthquake chains, or at least that's what I call them. You can see that, I think you can see the mouse on screen. So you can see if we match this here, these are going to fall down and these are going to stay. And I kind of think of this like an earthquake. So it's like this part of the earth is falling down and this part of the earth is staying the same. So we don't want this one to fall down. So we want this one to be on this side of the earthquake. So now you can see that when this falls down, this is going to shift down and make a chain. So it's the same as a horizontal, except for there might be some space in between. So here, you can see we want these ones to fall down. And so we actually want our chasm to happen right here, which is why we move this over so that the chasm changes to right there. Here we want our chasm to be here, so it's already there, so we just make use of it. Same thing here. This then, make use of that chasm. Same here. Okay, now this one, if we did move this over here, then these are going to fall down. We don't want either of these to fall down. So you can actually set it up ahead of time, because that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, plus some cursor moves. It's a lot of movement. But just set up as much as you need to get the chain in. All right. Okay, this is another one that I didn't really see before. So you can see the chasm's going to be here. So we're going to move that like that. All right, and that's earthquakes. This is deeper earthquakes, which is just the same thing. Oops. But with farther distance. And in some ways, it actually sometimes looks more obvious when you do it this way. But for some reason, I rarely see myself and other people do this kind of thing, especially when it's a farther distance. But it works just the same. Oops, I got confused there. Oh, this is the one where we need to maybe set up a little bit. Depends how fast you are. Okay, so that was earthquakes. We're going to go on to horizontal chains from a tower. Okay, so this is the first easy way to make big chains. Okay, so you can see that all of these are stacked on top of each other, and I call this a tower. So when you have lots of sets of 3 colors on top of each other, they can chain really easily. So you can see that yellows, reds, blues, pinks, and light blues are all going to work really well together. Oh, well, of course I messed it up. But okay. So yeah, you can see that they chain really well. And what's the basis for this? The basis is that whatever your chain starts, say it's like right here, these light blues. the other panels on that row and the panels on top of them are what are going to be chaining next. So here, once we match this, you can see that the reds are going to start falling and match there, but then we don't have a follow-up, right? We don't have anything down on the bottom row to chain with. So we want to have something. So we could either put the stars down here, which I don't normally do. I usually do the blues. But either way, you want to put stuff down below and then stuff on top, and kind of always be visualizing in like a wave pattern. So like here, the wave is down here, and then once we do the reds, the wave is down here. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, that's the idea. So I'm going to try to do with the stars here, which I don't normally do. I'm going to put a star down. Okay, and so that worked, but then I didn't do the next thing. Oh, I also have it randomizing colors, which is a little confusing, but we'll make it work. Oh, okay, almost got it. Okay, I'm going to do it the way I normally do it, which is put this down here so that we can easily do that. Okay, cool. This one is even more set up for us. So see how we can just keep putting stuff down. And I guess I could have made a chain instead of a 6 on that one, but yeah. So let's go through that again because this one's a little bit more complicated. So you can see we're just making a wave and continuing to pull stuff down. Wave, 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 wave. Oh, need to clear there. Okay, so that's how tower chains work. Okay. All right, next thing is called removes. So you can see, just like you can do inserts, which I guess I haven't talked about yet, you can do removes, which is you pull it out at the right time. You pull the panel out and it causes a chain. Kind of an advanced thing, not that common, but can be useful. All right. Here we go. We got these chains are just more complicated chains. You can see the 6 is going to work here, and then we're going to put the light blues on top, and then dark blues. Here, sometimes it's really important to set up stuff before you start your chain. So if I start my chain here, you can see I'm going to be in trouble. But if I move these yellows over here, now they're set up for what I need to do, right? So sometimes just looking ahead can be really useful for things like that. Okay, here we're just starting to introduce the idea of combo chains. So you can make chains with bigger combos. And that can become really useful for sending out a lot of attack later on. Here are some examples of combo chains in openers. I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure it out for next time. Here we go. Pre-set up inserts. So let's start with these. So yeah, here's the deal. This is called an insert. When you're gonna, this panel here on the left, we're gonna insert it into here. So once you start a chain, you can, right before everything starts falling, you can insert other panels into that spot. And because this top panel is chaining, if you match with it, you'll make a chain. So the inputs for this are, you want to try to double press on the insert. So I like to roll my finger from like swap button 1 to swap button 2, kind of like in rapid succession, almost like a couple frames in between each other. That gives you the best chance of doing an insert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mash this, I'm going to move here, and then I'm instantly, right when this, the second to last panel is popping, is disappearing, is when you want to do it. So here, second one's popping, press the button. Same thing here. Second to last one, roll, double swap. Okay, so let's do that again. So we're gonna roll, double swap, swap. Okay, so that's what inserts are. It's important to know that sometimes you can be in a situation where here, like, you can't do an insert because they're both on the same side, right? But if you do this, then they're going to be both on the other side, right? And now I can insert from over here. So note that you can do inserts horizontally like this. It doesn't have to be that staircase pattern, right? So here we had a staircase pattern, but here they're in a line, they're horizontal. Okay, so that's how inserts work. Let's go through a little bit more of these now. Okay, so here with another insert, and then we can just do some normal horizontal chains. Okay, insert, horizontal chains. Okay, this one's a little more obvious. Insert, chain. Okay, you can also do inserts on a much more vertical setup. What's this one? Concentrate for that one a bit more. But yeah, you can see you can chain inserts, and that can be really useful. Okay, this one we want to actually make the red, so we're going to do that first. Vertical insert, and we can do some horizontal chains. This one actually is already set up for us. We just need to do an insert at the end. Okay. So that's those. We've done that. Okay. So now we can come back to this one. So you can see visually that this is going to make our stair step pattern, right? These light blues. So if we do an insert here, we're going to be on this row now. Okay, right? And when we're on this row, what's the color we need to continue our wave with? The dark blues. Okay, so you can see the dark blues make a wave up here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, here we can see the diamonds are going to be the thing next on the thing. Oh, well, it's hard to talk while doing it. There we go. Okay, here, similar thing, right? let's go over that last one a little bit. So you can see we can maybe be confused, like, oh, there's this extra red here. But these are way at the top, right? So that we're not focusing on those right now. Right now we're focusing on yellows, and then our reds, and then yellows, and then we say, okay, the next thing on the wave is this. The next thing on the wave is the blues. Next thing on the wave is the greens. And then very much at the top is the reds, right? Oh, see, I got confused. Okay. So we have yellows, now we're doing blues, and now the greens are pretty much already set up for themselves. Okay. Alright, that was those. We talked about inserts. Here, this is just, you can also do combo chain inserts. Okay. Oh, you can also convert them. So this might not look like a staircase, but it actually is, right? Okay. Let's go over this one more time. Okay. So you might be unsure what the insert timing is for this, right? We want to do it right here. But what you want to do is you want to do it on the second to last panel is when you want to do your rolling motion, your swap motion, right? So let's just look for that, right? Let's look for when the second to last one's popped. You see that they go left to right, top to bottom. So that's how you can kind of look and see when's the time to insert. So you have to be really careful when you have big combos that you're inserting on to kind of know what's going to be the second to last one, basically. Okay. All right. So now we're showing how to do even bigger horizontal chaining, right? So you can see wave is red, blue, green, but then these are kind of messed up, right? So it'd be much better if it was more like that, because you can see this is kind of, yeah, bleh. Maybe even that would work. Not sure, I've never done that before. Oh, looks like it does. Okay, so I just found a different solution by using the same wave pattern thing, right? We want the wave to be in line like that. Oops. Okay, so now they're more in a wave pattern, right? Oh, I kind of cheated it there. Let's do that one again. Normally I do this pattern, but I'm going to try this pattern. Okay, see, we didn't do anything with that one way at the top. So that was kind of a problem. So maybe if we move this over, we'll have a better setup. Yeah, okay, that doesn't work so great. What I normally do with this one is this. Okay. All right. Getting through them here. All right. This is last one in this set is the openers. Okay. So here we can see that we can immediately start chaining as soon as we drop this down because we'll get greens. So yeah, I happen to know a solution for this. Okay, if I can do it. And obviously you don't expect to be able to do these right away, but yeah. So here you can see greens are going to be good on top, and then we'll probably want reds because that'll be the next thing in the wave, and then we can kind of just figure it out as we go. Okay, constantly figuring out what's the next thing in our wave to keep the horizontals going. Oops. I was a little confused there. Okay, and that's it for intermediate. On to advanced. Okay, advanced has all kinds of stuff, but let's start with Shogun practice. Alright, so what is a Shogun? A Shogun is when you make a clear on garbage, and the panels that you already have above that garbage layer fall down and immediately make a chain. So it's kind of like garbage chaining, except for it immediately falls from above. So this one's pretty much set up for you already. So you get a free chain, basically. Okay. So here we see what it needs to be down to the left here. So we do that. And we can see that 3 panels fall, so it's lined up right. That one you had to move some panels out of the way. This one, oh, this one you need to add an extra panel. This one you need to add an extra panel and move it over. What is this one? Is this an insert? It's an insert. Okay. This one you need to move it into position after it happens. I assume that's why you're supposed to do this. I've actually never asked anyone. That's how I do it. How does this one work? I actually don't remember this one. Well, we can see what we end up with that, right? So that means we needed one more in the middle, and we need to fill back in the one that we dropped. Okay. Okay, so that's what Shoguns are. Okay, now we're going to start talking about clear puzzles. So clear puzzles are when basically we're going to have this puzzle, and the goal is to clear all the garbage without running out of health. So you can see we start with the amount of stop time, and I'm going to change it so that as soon as you start moving, you start losing your stop time, because that's what normally would happen in a game. Well, normally in a game, you'd already be losing your stop time, right? But yeah, so our goal is to match both of these garbages here. Oh, press the wrong button. Okay. I think that's a different solution than I normally do for that one. So yeah, some of these are pretty easy, especially without any limitations on the cursor. What do I want to do here? Actually, I don't remember this one. I mean, you could do it that way. I'm not sure I'm going to do all these clear puzzles because there's a lot of them. But I'll do some of them, just so you get an idea of what's going on. What is this one? Well, that was not what I wanted. you have to pull the panel down like that. Yeah, let's not go through all of these, but any really important ones? Let's see. Okay, let's just go ahead and go on to transitions. These are super important, but basically the idea is that you want to be, if you set up your panels like this, then when they fall, when the garbage gets cleared and they fall, they'll be set up for just one swap away from getting another garbage clear. So all these are different examples of this. So here, see how it's already set up and we just need to swap. But sometimes you have to set it up like that. And I didn't get that one perfect. Here, you just need to pull it, that panel to the right. Okay, so these ones are already set up, right? But this one, you can see that the hole is not in the right spot. So without doing anything, this is going to be 3 swaps, right? But you can pre-move the triangles over here to the left so that you'll have only one swap right here. Here, same thing, you can move both these over to, I wonder, you could actually maybe move the hole? Would that be better? Not sure, I don't know if that'd be faster. Let me try it. Maybe that's better, or maybe it's just different. I'm curious to hear anyone else's opinion on that one. Okay, and yeah, that's it for advanced. Was that advanced? Yeah, that was. Okay, so that was basically what I wanted to talk about. I am going to have more stuff in expert and beginner eventually, and then I guess I can talk about hover chains as a little bonus point here. So when you make this triangle match here, normally, like if you time it right, you can actually make this a chain. So what you want to do is like start them swapping right before they start falling, is essentially how the timing works. If you do it too early, then it's just going to be a match. You do it too late, you won't actually be able to swap them because there's a time where you can't swap right when things are about to fall. So let me try to show that to you. Okay, so there, I got it, right? There, I got it. There, I did too early, right? And also you have to do the right one. I think you can't do it from the top. Let me see if I can try this. Yeah, so you can see if you do it from the top, I think it's impossible to get a chain. It's hard to actually get up there. Do it in the right time. Yeah, so like there, see how I didn't get it? It's because of the way the physics works, basically. But yeah, any of the middle or bottom ones, just not the top one, I think is essentially what you want to do there. And it's very similar timing to a insert. Maybe like a fraction of a second later, I think. Yeah, it's like the last panel popping instead of the second to last. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about today. Um, Let me know if you guys have any questions about any of those um, things. We'll continue to work on this and improve the puzzle set and everything. Um, but yeah, hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you next time.